Welcome to Politically Crowded. I'm your host, Tony Haslage, and with me today we have wrestling people, people who wrestle, wrestlers as they're sometimes called, or if you're an old person, wrestlers. If you're a really old person, guys who fight. So, now with me today is, first off, Jeremy Hudgens. I'm reading the wrong bio. I'm about to credit him for some old championship, but he doesn't have it. He's actually Enemy Society's PR guy. Next to him is Brandon X, who is a MCW 2003 Rookie of the Year and the MWF Hardcore Champion. Okay, he had a comment insert, but I guess he decided not to do it.
Oh, you want me to say something?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, I'm here.
And last but certainly least, Chris Haslage, as he flips me off. Program director of this station, so quack quack. So we'll start off real quick. First, well, actually, you know what? Because we have somebody special here, and it's the first time it's a non-fanboy of something. Because if you may remember the Enemy show.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that one.
Okay. Actually, and I'm gonna go off because Jeremy actually gave me a list of questions, but we're gonna start with the first one. Basically, a little bit about yourself, Brandon X. Obviously you wrestle. Generally how you got into it.
Simple. I walked in the gym. I found the gym first, walked in the gym, told them I wanted to train. Then after a year of getting beat around the ring, just finally decided it's time to put me in the ring.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Seems simple. Now, Chris and Jeremy, you guys go to the events and you guys get beat up, don't you?
No, well, not yet.
Sometimes, it depends.
We almost got our asses kicked the other day. Oh,
nice! That's getting bleeped for
that's
sure.
Gonna be the edit. Well, we almost got our butts kicked the other day just because the action was it was pretty intense. There was a spot where it was just, we were all, because of what we were doing, it just was kind of all bunched around us.
Yeah, he knows exactly what we're talking about. Brendan's like, oh, geez, that was
Well, we had the fan cam incident, and we also had the spot with you guys calling Chris Cole. That was kind of close. I had to plop up against a wall, so...
Well, I mean, okay, the Josh incident, for nobody that knows, Josh was actually the one who was actually taking the fan cam, and he was going around and taping the shows. So what happened was during Brandon X...
Fabulous versus... who was that?
Who cares who it was?
Who cares who it was? Okay, who cares who it was?
But Brandon X and Fresh were outside, and of course, I believe you got into Josh's face. You pushed him, he pushed you back.
Listen, I'll put it like this. You're going to have your little cameras out there taping what we do. Stay out of our way.
That was nice, though.
Because your friend's lucky that, I only got to push him. He did put his hands on me. He's lucky I got restraining orders on my contract saying I can't punch people outside of the ring, I'm non-wrestling related, or he'd have been laid out cold. I don't know why they're doing it to me. I don't know, maybe it's because of what happened to the dish later on, but oh well. There'll be a time and a place I'll catch your boy for putting his hands on me. I'm somebody you don't ever touch.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what happens, And so, let's see. Also,
go ahead.
You first.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, it was a pretty spooky moment, and also me getting having 5 wrestlers come right by me about a foot in front of me. It's pretty whack.
That was a chair. The chair was nice.
Yeah, the chair was nice.
Hey, Chris, do you need a chair?
No, I actually have to monitor the levels because we're in this. I don't want to say what this kind of setup is.
Non-orthodox is it?
Non-orthodox is a good word. I was going to say some POS, but beside the point.
Christopher's on his knees, basically. So.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, is that new or is that just daily?
Well, when I'm at work, it's daily. However, usually no.
That's probably how you're the director, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, I'm the man.
Actually, here, Chris.
No, I'm cool.
Oh, okay.
I'm better like this because it's easier for me to work.
Okay.
I bet you hear a lot of guys tell you that.
Oh, geez.
They come right after 10. Okay. So we'll move on to the first question Jeremy come up with. Wrestling, real or fake? Now we'll start with Brandon X. So is it real or fake?
Oh.
Waking up in the morning, real or fake?
It's a good answer.
I still think I'm asleep, so.
It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Maybe to describe
You
some of the
think,
pain.
hold on, you asked me a question, real or fake? People have died in that ring. People have broken their necks. I've seen it for myself. People having to get retired because of something that went wrong in the ring.
Oh, yeah. Look at draws right
Nothing
now.
went wrong in the ring and stuff still happens. You tell me, is it real or fake?
It's a good answer.
Wow, that took out question number 6 there.
Well, no, it's
I got a
all
scar on
right.
the
No,
back
it's
of my
still
head. Do you
good.
wanna see
It's
if
still
it's
good.
real or fake?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you still got that scar from the chair. What was that? About 3-4 months ago.
September.
Yeah, September.
Yeah. So yeah.
So how do you block the thought of dread of being harmed while you perform, as I read in Ray's handwriting?
If I had a dread of what's going to happen,
Do you? Well, here, let's put it in layman's terms. Do you get a little scared before you come out to the ring, saying I may be hurt or I may be paralyzed or something to that effect, or I may have to retire after this match?
you know what, if I thought about that, if I asked myself and questioned myself, it may happen.
Right.
I know what I'm going to do when I go in that ring. I know what I'm about to put my body through.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to ask myself that question before I came out of that curtain, there's no reason for me to ever come out of that curtain.
Nice.
Right.
Okay. Chris and Jeremy, what do you guys do when you're at these events? I mean, because obviously it doesn't sound like you're sitting there recording.
Well, and that's what we'd ultimately like to do. Is start actually doing commentary. But what we do is we like to work the crowd a little bit. We poke fun at each other every once in a while. I'm also taking still shots for MCW and MWF. And giving them the action pictures and whatnot. And Chris, you pretty much write results and film for anybody who wants it,
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty much bill guy, result guy, PR.
Yeah,
pretty much
I'm pretty
anything.
PR too. I've been
Yeah.
hyping up MCW for quite some time.
Yeah, I
now.
mean, pretty much it's about anything that Jeff needs. He's like, I got something for you. I'm like, okay, name it. I can do it, within reason, of course.
Man, forget what the dish needs. Ain't no way to care about the dish. Dish got his this past show.
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
yes.
I took pictures of that, and man, holy crap!
If nobody knows, I should say,
He did a spot.
yeah, I'm trying to think, what the heck does he call himself in the ring?
Darren Davenport.
You can edit this, right?
Yeah, I can edit
Quit
this.
saying spot.
Okay.
Because you're making wrestling just sound like it's all planned and everything. Just
Okay.
say there
Okay,
was this
Sully,
card.
I need you to edit that out, and we'll go from my 3. Thank you. Because I
Sorry
couldn't
about
think. I
that.
couldn't think of Jeff's name either. And I said
You said
Jeff
it a
as
little
well.
bit earlier. You might want to
Yeah.
cut
Oh,
that out too.
Well, you know what we'll do is, all right, Sully, do this. Where we say Jeff earlier in the show, we'll say Darren Davenport, and then you can just, if you can do that, just
you just
insert
said it right
there.
now, so there you go. Just use that last Darren Davenport. I said it too, so there you go. Just edit those. That should be pretty easy.
We'll describe it to you later.
Yeah. So 3, 2. Yeah, because Darren Davenport got hit with the belt by
Fresh.
a good
Was it
few.
Fresh or was it Fab?
Fresh and fabulous.
Yeah.
Fresh and Fab
They-
both
they took
laced on him.
turns.
Yeah, they did.
That was great, and you should see the welts after. It was
Yeah,
nice.
I had to unfortunately take pictures of that.
It's what you get when you mess with fast. See, it's plain and simple like this.
Mhm.
I was promised something. I didn't get it. Somebody had to pay.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Remember that.
See, he's pointing at you. He's not pointing at me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So yeah, remember that.
He's targeted. He's a mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Say that again.
MCW and MWF. What are they? What's the differences between them? Anybody?
Well, one's owned by Davenport. That's MCW.
One's owned by Fresh.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually it is
yes.
Fresh.
Nothing
It
Yes.
is
but
Fresh.
commish.
Yes.
Darren is the commish.
I keep forgetting that. It hasn't traded hands like 10 times already. Jeez.
It doesn't matter how many times you trade hands. It's whose hands it is, and now
Oh.
Where is Fresh, by the way?
that's Fresh. Fresh don't like you,
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, okay.
so that's why Fresh didn't come.
That's nice.
So first,
I really
today.
don't like you. I really don't like you, but I ain't had nothing better to do right now. You promised me females that I best.
They're coming. They're coming.
There's a couple of that picture over there.
Yeah, well, no, I think he wants the real thing. If Tamara would show up, you know.
Well, actually, she had to go with Edge.
Oh, jeez. You could have had 2 fine females here. Look what
Yeah,
happens.
well.
I leave it up to you. That's
Well.
nice.
Unfortunately.
Man, see what happens.
Oh.
Okay.
So, MW or MCW stands for what?
Mega Championship Wrestling,
Okay, and MWF?
Millennium Wrestling Federation.
Okay, so what is the actual difference between them?
Well, one's owned by Fresh, that's MWF. No, MCW. The
We'll edit that
MWF.
out.
Huh?
We'll edit that.
Okay, we'll go back again.
Boy, there's a lot of editing needed in this
Yes, there will
episode.
be. I'm going to love you, Sully. 3, 2. Fresh owns MCW. MWF is owned by...
Somebody that pays me every time I go there, so that's all that matters.
Bill Gates. So,
It's 2 different owners,
Yeah, see, I don't
2
know.
different styles of wrestling.
See, I went to MWF. All I know is that I saw guys are picking out through the trash. They wrestled later, and that was pretty much the show.
Yeah.
And that, and what's his face? Zach Gowen was there.
Yes, Zach Gowen was there at MWF. Yes.
And that was...
I was there. That's all that matters. Zach
Yes.
Gowen, it could have been P.D. Pablo. It could have been the Ugandan giant Kamala. I was there. That's what the fans wanted to see.
Yes. To a packed capacity crowd, I might add.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
so the event that pays all the time gets the most people.
Not necessarily.
No, it all depends on, depends. You know, it really depends on many factors, who shows to a wrestling event. I think great promotion is the key, though. And is there any addition to that?
It's basically simple. You don't get the word out. How are you going to know it's there?
Okay.
Do you prefer MWF over MCW, or
Well, that's a tough
or do you
question.
like both? I mean,
You know what?
He doesn't want to love his job here.
yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'll say it how it is. MCW, I run with the owner of the company. I mean, so I'm living life large.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Oh, guess who came in?
Sure.
Just real quick, I hate to interrupt you guys.
Okay,
Just
edit it out.
put
Sorry.
everything in the studio. It turns out I have an emergency shoot I got to do at City Council. I will put everything away for you.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No
interrupt you.
problem. Right, Ray, we have tons to edit out. Anyway.
Yeah, we got.
Yes, this will be 4
Sully's-
hours of work right now.
Sully's gonna have his hands. That's why I pay the guy. I pay the guy good money to edit. So.
Just put everything on in that cart and have it on the
No
studio
problem.
for me.
Okay.
Man. And I'll leave the doors open on the studio for you.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, where were we on what part?
3, 2, 1. Oh, what he was gonna say, who he likes working for better.
He runs. Okay, yeah, you run with Dervin Davenport and.
And if you go to MWF, I'm their hardcore champion. I've been their tag team champion. Well, I don't even consider it a hardcore championship no more because the fans, they're nothing but robots to watch people dive through barbed wire. I'm too damn pretty to do that stuff. I'll tell you what, I'll knock you down on the ground, beat you half your life. I just screwed that up.
It's hardcore enough.
I'll beat you within an inch of your life, and then I'll just walk away, and I'm the hardcore champion. But see, its value, first guy had it, threw it in a garbage can. I bribed some guy with a case of beer for the title, so what does that tell you? Ain't nobody got no respect for us. So I add a couple food stamps, take my 9 Glocks, shoot it up. It's got bullet holes in it now. I show the value and the worth of that title and what respect it has. See, what these fans don't understand is when I go there with that title, sooner or later, they're going to respect it, and I don't even want it.
Yep. What do you dub the title now?
Oh, it's the ghetto core food stamp champ right
There
there.
you go.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now, you do consider yourself a professional, or you consider
I'm a
yourself
professional. Do you consider yourself a professional?
no?
No, not by a
I'm a
long
professional
shot.
politician. I'm not a professional host type guy. I mean, after the season.
But you consider you're a professional in what you do, right?
Oh yeah,
See, so do I.
and apparently I get paid for that. So, okay. So the next one is, and this is another one from Germany. There, WCW versus WWE, and he puts in.
The Monday Night
Yeah,
Wars.
Monday Night
Do you
Wars.
watch WWE and back then WCW?
If I'm a pro wrestler, that means I probably do watch that stuff. I've probably
Yeah.
seen all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, some pro wrestlers I've met a few who they just try to stick to the indie circuit. That's why I asked.
Have you ever watched the WWE, WCW?
Oh,
yeah.
most definitely.
Now you see why they stick with the indie circuit. Nobody wants to come out there and see necrophilia. I don't want to see some guy humping a mannequin.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things they do, gonna put another guy in a burning garbage can, it's horrible. I'd rather see indies where I know they're on there getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? We have to keep our... You see the crowds we're working from, we only have 17,000 people.
Yeah, you wrestle like you mean it, because that's...
We're not making the thousands. Everything we put in is the heart and soul. If people can't respect that, don't like them, they can, you know, for all I care, kiss my butt.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I mean, from what I see, I mean, I guess it looks just to the point that where, you know, you go with the indie circuit, you get wrestlers who mean it. And, you know, right now, you go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Lesnar, it's a great example.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me started on Lesnar. You know, I was looking online, and you know, okay, well, if the guy wanted to get out of wrestling to try football, hey, that's great. But then I found out why he wanted to get out of wrestling. It was 9 reasons why he was crying, and it just made me sick. I don't remember the reasons off the top of my head. I know travel was a big one. Actually, when I talked to Zach Gowen, he had said travel was a big issue. I mean, travel is just nuts. I mean, you do a show, you're on a plane in 20 minutes.
Wow.
Sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes, you know, whatever. And the travel was hardcore, and you know, that's understandable. Okay, the travel is a little hard on you. But, you know, some of the other reasons were just kind of whack. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I know the travel was the big one, and then there was like 8 other reasons that he did. And it's just like, you know, quit your whining. You know, you're here for the fans. I mean, Brandon X, I'm sure you go out there to entertain, right?
I go in there because I got an ego.
Oh, do you?
I have to feed my ego. I go out there because there's females out there. No, honestly... If it's entertainment that you're looking for, if I give it to you, I give it to you. But I just go out there for my own self.
But you go out there to fight, right?
I go out there to fight. I'm not saying that egotistically.
Right, no.
As in I go out there for myself. But unless you step in that ring, you don't know the adrenaline rush. And
Well,
you don't hear the crowd. You see the crowd, you don't hear the crowd.
Really?
I go home, I have to watch tapes. Just so I can see how the fans reacted.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like the rush.
It's almost like baseball, because I've heard baseball players kind of do that too, especially with the pitchers. They shut the crowd out.
Yeah, a baseball player ain't never got speared in the gut.
I think that is true.
300-pound man jump on him from the ring. So
Right. But you know, the way they were describing it is that pretty much the way you do is, you know, they just, you know, take out the crowd and then go from there. But yeah.
And it's not even you do it for entertainment. You do it because it's a way of life. It just becomes natural. When I don't have shows, my body hurts.
Yeah.
That's another one.
I do have a question about crowds. And have you ever had a crowd go wrong, or a fan go wrong? I mean, just somebody who just
tried to get after you, or anything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Last summer we had the Lorain night. I mean, the woman had a mullet.
Oh, please go on.
What can you say to a woman who comes out with a mullet? You got to let her know. And for the whole summer, that's all we did was rag on her, and I think we made this woman cry. And quite honestly, I don't care. Fresh didn't care when he made her cry.
Wow.
We had an autograph signing. She was there, and we said it to her. And the girl's daughter, something came up to her, said, "My mom doesn't like that stuff." We told her to leave. We didn't like her either. So I mean, if you can't handle giving the heat and you're not going to take it right back, you shouldn't even show up to the shows.
Well, it goes with the great example of Bouncer, his mom. I love Bouncer's mom.
Yeah.
And you know, she gives and takes, and she's there every show. Now, do you have a few choice words for her?
Yeah.
Mama Bouncer. You know what? You got to give respect to that lady.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, good, bad, whatever I am. That is one person who, as a fan, gives everything. And you know, there's very few of those in the indies today. You know, you'll see these same fans that you'll see all of them at these Raw shows, but if you look at them, they're in suits.
Yeah.
You know, you can't come to a wrestling event wearing a suit. You got to be down home.
Yeah.
And like my fans are all ghetto fans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the trailer park trash that comes to the shows. I got to deal with you guys. So.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Thank God
ouch.
for my mansion.
Whatever.
Okay. Okay, well, now we'll start with Brendan next again. Likes and dislikes about wrestling. Another Jeremy Hudson question there.
Dislikes.
Is there anything you don't like about wrestling?
Sometimes it's political, I mean, but other than that, if I don't like it, if there's dislikes, I hate sitting in the car for 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 7, 8 hours, just going one place to wrestle a show for 15 to 20 minutes.
That brings up another good question. I'm sorry. How far have you traveled to do a show?
I traveled to PA. Supposed to go to Indiana later this year.
Nice.
Trying to get into Michigan.
That's cool.
We went to Pennsylvania for a show on New Year's Eve. And it was supposed to be the last show of the year with former WWE star Jerry Lynn. And when we got there, we found out that the show got canceled.
Oh.
You know, there was no guarantee pay when we went there because like myself, I'm a rookie. And you go into it knowing you're going to have to do it for free for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just not some business that you're going to jump in making millions of dollars, and a lot of people think that. And the school I trained at, I seen a lot of people come and go because they thought that. Second day, they said, I have my wrestling name. I ain't know you have your wrestling name. You got to earn everything you got. And
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're not willing to earn what you have, then you need to stay out of the ring.
Now,
But as for my likes and dislikes, there's not too many dislikes.
mm-hmm.
I mean, even the guys I don't get along with, if something was to happen to them, I'd be right there by their side. My likes, everything about it. You got the fans, you got the people you meet, and your buddy over here keeps talking about, I met Zach Allen. Happy as hell about that, but, to me, it's just, he's another one of the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
He's been where I've been, and I want to go where he's been.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to show them guys respect like that. But got to love the fans. Got to love the females.
Oh, yeah.
There's always females at every show.
Respect the females.
Y'all witnessed my pimpiness at this last
Yes,
show.
we
Oh,
did.
yes.
Yes, we did.
Definitely. You
Got a couple of stills of that. That was pretty sweet.
Oh, yes, you did.
And
And
we're going to watch the fan cam tonight, hopefully, and see what exactly happened fan cam-wise.
Yeah, you see you try to steal my food stamps, what you see.
now, who do you respect as far as a wrestler? Who is the wrestler that you idolize the most?
We talking indies, we talking...
Well, here, let's put it. Who inspired you to become a wrestler?
Mick Foley inspired me to be a wrestler after reading his
Really?
books.
Wow, that's very cool because I'm a big Mick Foley fan.
And, I mean, I don't do hardcore, but you saw the way Mick he fought through everything just to get to where he got.
5 hours to go to MSG to see Snuka.
It's not even that. Dude drove 8 hours every weekend to train to be a wrestler.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Overnight, slept in the car, ate bologna sandwiches. I know what it's like eating bologna sandwiches. Them things are good.
Loser's lunch, man.
Yes.
But if you want to talk about who do I respect on the indies, I'll look no further than MCW. You got to look at people, and I hate saying this myself, but Arrow, dude suffered a major concussion this past show. As much as I hate the dude,
I thought that's what it
Yeah.
was.
you got to respect the man that'll get up and wrestle his heart out for the rest of the show.
I actually saw that when because he took a hard hit, and I heard his head bounce right off the floor.
We went on the other side. I missed that because
That I
You
was.
see it on
it
tape,
was.
you hear his head bounce the floor.
Yeah, and I was like, I sat there, I turned around, and I looked pale, and one of the fans was like, what? I said, his head just hit it. And I was like, oh.
my
I knew
question
that's what it was.
is, what happened to the mats?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. They should have been out there. I don't know.
Don't need them. It's a risk you take. It all goes back to the risk you take.
Ah.
But that's the question. Let's get back to me about who do I respect, who do I idolize.
Sure.
I even hate saying this, but I idolize Chris Cole.
Wow.
Everybody knows that I'm his and Arrow's protege, that, they trained me. Chris Cole, went to AAA at Mexico, doing a tour in Korea. And this is a guy who comes home, you know, when he can, and does shows for his home city. You know, if I ever made it somewhere, that's what I'd want to always do, is be able to come back when I can for MCW.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you can't respect that, it's another thing of get out the business.
Right.
You know, these guys, those are guys that live or die for the show, you know, the shows. And thirdly, you can't help but idolize your boy over here, JT Lightning.
Oh, actually, you know, me and JT, we finally got a certain respect for each other.
JT
we
don't
talked
respect you. You just think that. Here's the thing. JT blew out his knee. Man struggled and came back, and look where he's at right now.
Yeah.
You know, you can hate him all you want, but the man, he's an icon in MCW. He's an icon in Cleveland or professional wrestling. Wherever that man goes, they know his name.
Right.
You know, I've talked about Tracy Smothers. You say JT Lightning, he knows who he is. You talk to Raven, JT Lightning, he knows who he is. Everybody knows JT.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Titles and champs. We'll start with MCW. Who holds what titles? What are the titles, actually? Who holds them?
Well, let's see. There's U.S. champ, right? That's the big one.
U.S. title holder.
U.S. title holder, and
JT
that's JT Lightning.
Tag champions are the Munchies. Light heavyweight champion is Arrow. Then they got the brass knuckles title by some guy. Nobody even cares about this guy, the Nomad. You know, he's the man who stands alone. That's because nobody wants to be near him, if you ask him.
Would that also cover MWF there? Or?
Yeah. MWF, you got there, I don't know if they call it heavyweight. That's the heavyweight champion.
That's Mr.
Main Event, who was trained by Al Snow. You got the U.S. title champion, who's awesome Gary Dawson. You have the tag champs, who is some guy named Squints, who needs the wax. You got the Canadian Black Velvet. Then the cruiserweight champion, some punk homeless guy, Grady, who, if you even ask about him, I'm going to slap you in the mouth. Then you got the Ghetto Core, what they like to call hardcore food stamp champion, which is myself.
Okay, now...
Don't they have a midget champion, too?
Yeah, they have a midget champion. Maybe you could win that title next.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, like you said, if you transition between the two, is there anybody else who's actually in both leagues?
There's a couple guys that go there. Alcatraz, Wildman Chuck Brody, all from, you know, the Elyria promotion that go there.
There's also the Sink Killer, Stacy.
Oh, man. Are we going to talk about this on
We're
here?
not going to get into that.
No. Don't ask. We also have JDB.
Yeah, JDB,
Yeah,
and also
JDB.
Christian Faith.
Yes.
Can't ever forget Christian Faith. The dude's a psycho. I mean,
Yeah.
He actually...
I saw the man eating a garbage can. Not eating the garbage out of the can. He was actually biting into the garbage can. That's how, you know, the dude's just nuts. I mean, I saw him smack a little kid with a light tube just because he was in his way. And
Wow.
the dude's merciless.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, now backyard wrestling, another question by Jeremy. He wants
Had to
to
ask
know. Yeah, he wants to know what your opinion on it is.
Yeah, what does everybody think about backyard wrestling?
It depends. I mean, when I was a little kid, it was the greatest thing in the world to have it be on the trampoline and, you know, diving off the trampoline on the picnic tables. But then as you get, you know, you gain sense, you realize it's the stupidest thing in the world to do. You know, every time I step in the ring, I'm taking a chance of killing myself. And I was trained to do the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, they watch a couple highlight tapes and all of a sudden they think they're, you know, invincible. So it's ridiculous. If you want to do that stuff, you know, at least pay to do what I did and train. You know, I'm not saying come to our school. I'm not saying go to, you know, the school next door, because that could be a bad school, or just because you heard somebody, look for what you want and train. Take the backyard stuff and get rid of it, because all it's going to do is it's going to end up killing somebody over and over again.
You know, I can't agree more. I've always disliked backyard wrestling. With the exception of a couple of things, you know, light tubes, okay, fluorescent lights, that, you know, just smacking them on the head, that's not cool. Barbed wire I can always see, okay. just, stupid stuff that they use.
No, so you can't say no, that's stupid, because, I mean, I see it in matches in professional wrestling.
Well, yeah.
Backyard wrestling, professional wrestling, there's two different things. Like I said, you can't just watch a tape and know what you're doing or do something and think it's cool, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up breaking somebody's neck.
Right.
You've seen it in court cases, and it ends up being where professional wrestling gets the bad rap. And when you try to promote the independent scene, everybody thinks it's backyard wrestling because it's not the WWE.
Right.
And that's because these kids want to sit there and do that little backyard wrestling.
Right.
I mean, even Foley had a background of that, and he even said, like, no, this is not cool.
Right.
And
That's when he became Dude Law.
yeah.
I remember that.
But see, he also did that off for a movie that he was making.
Right, right.
So it wasn't that he was doing backyard.
Yeah, that's right. That is right.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think back to the book, you are correct.
Okay. Now let's say somebody from WWE was here right now and said, "Hey man, I want you to come wrestle for our league." What would you do? What would you say? Would we?
If
have
Jim
to
Ross
clean
came up to you and
mess?
said, "Hey,
Yeah.
you're a great talent. Come with us," would you?
I'll tell you what, Jim Ross came up to me and said that after only 11 months of wrestling, I'd ask him what drugs he's been taking. There's many guys who deserve to be in there that aren't in there right now. You got people like Chris Hero, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Colt Cabana. My tag partner Fabulous, who's been on NWA TNA, he deserves to be in WWE. There's a lot of guys that come way before me, so I don't even think about stuff like that. I'm nowhere near ready for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How long were all those people you mentioned been wrestling at?
Let's see, Fabulous has been going for about 3 or 4 years. Colt Cabana, CM Punk, Chris Hero, they've been around 6 or 7 years. Guy that wrestles up in MWF, Evil Elvis Elliott, he was trained by Al Snow. He used to be in the Fed. There's a lot of guys that don't get the chance because it's just the WWE has become blind to what the fans actually like, and it's more about what they like.
Okay. And this is another one from Jeremy. What are your major influences?
Drugs.
Yeah. And
Maybe
it's
perhaps-
snip.
That can actually stay. That'd be pretty entertaining.
You might want to
We don't
rephrase
wanna-
that
We're not
question.
endorsing drugs, okay? I think Jeremy means here wrestlers. Those wrestlers. Let's say.
Well, he just said Mick Foley.
Yeah, so-
let's say you were a kid. This is before Mick Foley.
Right.
I'm assuming you're. How old are you? Or do you mind telling anybody? Or.
I'm in my mid-20s.
Okay, so you're about my age. Okay, so assuming you watched WCW or WWE.
Actually, it'd be NWA, and
What-
NWF back then,
Back
right?
then it was
Well,
NWA.
I know, but when I was a
WWF.
teenager, that's when WCW came out. So, but before Mick Foley, you were watching it. Who were you like? Wow,
No, I'll tell you what, I don't even look at Hulk Hogan as ever really being a wrestler. He was a performer. There's a big difference.
Oh yeah, good
You
showman.
want to talk about wrestling, you got to look at people like Lou Thesz and the king of all wrestling, Harley Race.
Oh yes.
Even for like the people that know him now, you got to look at the Bret Harts. Even Triple H, he was, the man's given all he's got for that company, and you got to feel something for that. He deserves to be married to the boss's daughter.
he really is married.
Yes, yes.
Damn.
You got to look at people like Arn Anderson,
Oh yeah.
I met Arn Anderson.
Tully Blanchard, Then you got, Ronnie Garvin.
Oh yes, Rugged Ronnie Garvin.
And then you got to look at some of the hardcore legends like Bruiser Brody.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different influences. It's a little piece of everybody that, makes you want to do it, and just like it makes you want to be there in that ring and do what they did.
Speaking of Brodies, how is the Wild Man? Have you?
We probably should mention what happened at MCW. There was a match between Alcatraz and Chuck Brody, and they took a dive off the stage right into a table, and both got injured, and Chuck Brody actually got the worst of it.
Do you know how Chuck is, or?
So Brody, the Wild Man, psycho hillbilly. Hey, I call it like I see it. The dude's crazy. The dude's nuts. I mean, you can tell after that show he doesn't he doesn't care about his body. It's all about, his passion for the business, but he suffered a fractured ankle doing that, and he's going to be out of commission for a while. And
Really
that's,
was
it's bad
fresh.
to say because he just came back from, he had broken his other foot. So who knows, how much longer the Wild Hillbilly's going to be out for. It's, it could be one show. He's psycho. He might even come back next show and smack around somebody.
Let's see.
I'm going to ask, how big is the actual wrestling ring?
They're varying sizes. I've wrestled in wrestling rings that are 14 by 14 all the way up to 20 by 20.
Now, WWE, they wrestle 20 by 20,
20
right?
by 20. And, some people ask, oh, well, wrestling, let's go back to your is wrestling real or fake question.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever watch it on tape, if you watch basketball, you watch football, you watch baseball, they all get their timeouts. They all get, for us, it's nonstop. So what you see is legit athletes going out there, busting their butts, trying to do to give the fans something. So yeah, to me it's real. To a lot of the fans it's real. And if it's not real, then you shouldn't, if you don't have a belief in it, then don't pay attention to it. Don't watch it. Because we're going to give a damn less if you don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
Because we give a damn more about the fans that do like it than the ones that don't.
Okay. Give to it when you land on it. Has there ever been any really hard rings that you'd smack it back against it and you'd want to scream?
Every ring I get into, who likes falling on their back?
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're falling on your face, you're falling on your back, falling on your neck, falling on your butt crack. Hey, there's never that was a nice soft landing. Each and every one of them, you feel something shoot through your body, and I know sooner or later I'm going to have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah. They don't put pillows under there.
There's no health coverage, is there, with wrestling?
There's no health coverage. There's no guarantees. I don't even have insurance. If I go to my next show and I break my leg, I might miss work and I'll be out of a job. But it's not why I do it. It's because I don't care. It's my passion.
Right.
Do you consider it a hobby or?
No, it's not even a hobby. It's a way of life.
It's just like lacing up and going to work, man.
Can I say that everybody in the back, it's not a hobby, it's their way of life? No, I can't say. There's some guys that are, that they are hobbyists to wrestling, that don't try to do it all they can for the promotion they're wrestling for or anything like that. I'm not going to start naming names, but I know everything I do for MCW and MWF, I do it because I love the promotions.
Is there a promotion that's ever signed you that you would probably never go back to?
You know what? I never look at it as I'd never go back to a promotion because sometimes stuff happens and, you have to part your ways. I see no reason to ever burn no bridges.
Right. Okay. That's cool.
Everybody runs their places different. If I don't really like working, wrestling for them, I won't go back, but sometimes situations come up where you're not able to go to that promotion for a while. So, no promotions I would never say I'd never go back to.
Okay. Obviously, MCW and MWF are somewhere here in Ohio. Are there any other leagues out there that you may have wrestled for previously, or other ones that you're aware of that you just simply haven't had the chance to go over and check out? Or?
Let's see, there's Cleveland All-Pro, which I wrestled for over the winter. There's New Era Pro and Cleveland All-Pro, based in Cleveland.
Run by JT.
They've had stars like Chris Collier, Raven, D'Lo Brown, Tracy Smothers, Bobby Blaze. Legends of the business have gone there and wrestled. Then there's New Era Pro Wrestling, where you have people like Julio De Niro, Chris Hamrick, Jerry Lynn's been there. Fabulous wrestles there. J-Rock, who, I really can't stand that guy, but he dropped me on my neck this past show, but, hey, he'll get his sooner or later. Then there's Union, which is in Pennsylvania. Jerry Lynn's wrestled there. That's ran by Kingdom James. There's NWA East. There's NWA TNA down in Tennessee. There's IWA Mid-South, where Chris Hero wrestles. Chris Cole's going to be wrestling there. Then I think there's Main Event Wrestling, which is in Akron. And I think it's April 30th. They have a legend of the business, Bret Hart, going there. There's places up in Michigan, Border City Wrestling. they're all over the place. It's just, I'd love to be at every one of them. There's War Wrestling down in Lima. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of places that I would love to go. And hopefully one day I'll at least get to go to all of them at least once.
Was there any actual place where one of these events are held where you actually really love the place and would like to go back?
Yeah, Fremont, Ohio. That's the place to be because the fans get no more country than there. I mean, I love being hated. It's great. I mean, I go out there, they boo me. What more can I ask for? I'm doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my whole thing is I'm from the ghetto. I don't want no hillbillies loving me. You know, you come to MCW shows, you'll see I have ghetto fans. You know, fans hate me, but I got the ones that love me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ones that dance for food stamps.
Definitely dance for food stamps. They can private dance for food stamps at the house if they'd like.
Now, oh man, I had a question. I forgot what it was.
I'll bring up my next one. Do you actually go to like WWE events and watch?
You know what? I try not to watch the WWE because it disappoints me to see them hold their talent back like they do.
Yeah,
you know, you got guys like the Hurricane and Shannon Moore who could give like the best matches in the world, but instead you gotta see like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg who like immobile, can't do nothing in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking because they're so built and, you know...
No, I'm just talking because they're so lazy.
Oh,
you know, Brock was a good wrestler, but then he got lazy. You know, a lot of these guys, like, I don't want to see them no more. They don't want to, they're getting paid. But then you got people who are make it worth watching, like Eddie Guerrero,
Benoit,
Chavo Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
You're naming a lot of WCW wrestlers, though.
A lot of them came from WCW.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they knew how to work, though. You know, you go to WCW, I mean, they had to work in order...
Well, I'll tell you my view on WCW. I'm not an Eric Bischoff fan. I never... because he was the type of guy that if you were his friend, he'd give you, you know...
So that's where everybody's got so messed up. I'm not a WWE fan, I'm not a WCW fan. But there's certain guys in every promotion that you can't help it, like, because you respect where they've been.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I give props to the Hurricane. I love watching the Hurricane wrestle. I do believe that he should be used more, but he's not, unfortunately, because he's a cruiserweight, and he's fun to watch. Shannon Moore is another guy, like you said, that should be used, and he's not, and it's a shame because you got so much. Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence. Okay, he was subjected to puking in a bucket.
Oh, geez, that was just...
For like, what was that, a 3-month span. That's not wrestling. That's stupidity. This guy when he worked for ECW, he gave his blood, sweat, and tears. Okay? I was there at CyberSlam 2000 when he won the belt, and then he lost it to Just Incredible.
Man, you're breathing heavy over there, getting excited over there, ain't you? It's a little kinky, and you're just like getting turned down thinking about Tommy Dreamer.
No, it's because...
Where's the host of this show at? He needs to start asking some questions because you're starting to scare me and worry me.
But Tommy Dreamer is one of those guys that just gave it all for the business and just... Is he even with the WWE anymore? Do you know, or...
Like I said, I don't pay attention to WWE.
I'll have to
let's look at ECW for a second here, and I think ECW was the indie that went big.
Yeah, it was.
You know.
Did you watch ECW?
Oh yeah, I watched ECW. I mean, I've even met some of the guys from ECW.
Oh yeah.
And everybody still tries to.
ECW?
Off the top of my head, Tracy Smothers,
Okay.
Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Lynn, met Jerry Lynn a couple of times. Chris Hamrick, Julio De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys that you see in TNA, some of them came from ECW.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Al Snow.
Yeah.
I was on a show with him a couple of months ago. So,
Does Al like to rib a lot of people?
I didn't really get a chance to talk to the guy, but like my biggest thing is something like that. I'd never tell anyways. Some things in the locker room need to stay in the locker room. And that's what's been a real big problem with the business. Everybody wants to know what's the inside story. You took the enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
You know, why would you want to see something? It's like going to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they wonder why box office movies are on. You already know what the ending's going to be. What am I going to go for? You know, The Rock's got a new movie out. I bet you I can tell you what happens. Movie starts, there's a problem, Rock beats everybody up, end of movie. He's a hero.
Yeah.
He gets beat up a couple of times, and that's it. He gets his big revenge. Every movie's like that. I mean, so there's things that just don't need to be said because it doesn't need to be known. And,
Right.
you know, some fans don't understand that. You know, everybody's got to have the low-down dirt scoop. I got a scoop for you, but it ain't going to be a scoop. It ain't going to be a scoop you want.
Yeah.
Be a scoop of poop.
Okay.
You want to do the 30-second question?
Hey, I'm still waiting for these females.
Well, there's wigs in the bag. I think these two gonna.
Oh,
I think this one right here, he already likes wearing the wig, so who knows, you know. Breathing heavy with Tommy Dreamer.
Sorry, when I get into ECW rants and talent that's held back, you know, it just...
Okay.
But do you want to do the 30-second
It just
question?
it excites you? Well, it just doesn't sound right there.
So my question would be, if you ever like went to an event, and you said there was some like Fremont you really loved, but was there ever an event you go in, perhaps most professional looking event? They had food ready for you. They were paying you today.
food ready.
What,
There's
you're saying
events that
never
have
any
food ready?
There's never anybody. You say there's never ever any food, or nothing ever been that good.
You know what? I'll tell you what. It's the Indies. If I go to a show and there's free hot dogs afterwards and there's some cold pizza left, I'm excited. All right? That all goes back to how good does this look? How good does that look? I don't pay attention to none of that. You know, I go out there, anything can look ugly. It's what you got to make it beautiful yourself, and that's what wrestling is. It's an art form.
Yep.
You know, some of the matches would be the most ugly art you've ever seen. Wouldn't nobody ever buy that? But then you got the masterpieces. And maybe sometimes that's not understanding. You know, we put our bodies on the line, our lives on the line. You know, when I leave them shows, I get to go home and see my son. He's why I do it. It's something that when I look back in my life, I can say, watch this, son, this is what your dad did when he was this little man. You know, and so for me to ever think that, is this place going to have food for me? Is this place going to have a beautiful setting? You know, is this place going to have females massaging me after the show? Which does happen, by the way. But it's not because of no show, you know. It's because I'm true to life of what I say. What you see in the ring is what you see out of the ring, just a toned down version of me. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, what's your gimmick? There is no gimmick when it comes to me. I say how it is, how I feel. You know, and a lot of people that know me know that one day I expect my son to become a pro wrestler. Well, I don't expect it, but I hope, you know, he does. And he comes to the shows with me.
Yeah, I remember the last show he went with you. He was actually doing some headlocks on you. It was pretty cool.
Well, ladies, my son's mom ain't with me. I had to boot her to the curb. But, you know, he knows how to get in Dad's VCR at 2 years old, and he wants to watch Dad's tapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we'll sit there and watch them. Next thing I know, he's beating me up. So I know that somewhere down the line, there's still passion for people that want to see wrestling, you know.
So one day, eventually, for whatever reason, you're going to have to retire or something. So what would you do? Would you become a manager, a promoter?
That's a good question.
You know what?
I paid $10 for that question. Go ahead.
I would love to be a promoter. But I know there's a lot of things that they do that a lot of people don't see that they have to go through. You know, you got to deal with guys not wanting to do certain things, people with egos. You know, everybody wants their way. So they got a tough job. You know, I respect every promoter because I understand their job's not easy. Mm-hmm. Manager-wise, I hate just standing there. If I'm near a ring, I want to smack somebody. And that puts me too close to the fans. And they're the ones that got the biggest mouths out there, and I just want to smack them. So being a manager, I might be an announcer or something because, you know, I got the gift for gab.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've spoken about 90% of this whole show, so.
But hey, that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I of course never been to one of the events because, I don't know, half-naked guys sweating all over me.
Hey, you know what?
Oh, man.
That doesn't appeal to me.
Oh,
I'd rather watch it on TV.
You know, I can't argue with you there. I mean, some people look at it as, who wants to go see a bunch of men in tights wrestling around with each other? Sometimes I ask myself that. I mean, hey, you know, but once you get there, even as a fan, it's something that comes alive before your eyes. You know, you got guys who, and I'll give my respect to Canadian Bad Boy. He just beat me, you know, 1, 2, 3. Man weighs 300 pounds, comes out in a pair of tights. You got to respect a man that, you know, will show his body like that. You know, he's not the most attractive man in the world, but he's doing it because it's something he loves, and the fans respect that. Now, as much as I don't respect most of the fans' opinions, I mean, they want to come out there, hold their little fat suck signs, and boo me because I'm so pretty. And it makes no sense, but, I mean, I forgot what the question was.
What was the question?
Well,
I just totally changed the whole question.
well that was...
No, it's okay.
So, okay, my next question was... okay, you two guys, when you go there, you actually get involved in the event.
Yeah.
Just a little, yeah.
How involved do you actually guys get? I mean...
Not much right at the moment.
Yeah.
We're just there to, right now, we were asked by Commissioner Davenport to come in there and...
Should have asked for a diet shake or something.
diet shake. We were asked to come in there to do a little PR. I also have a wrestling radio show. That's why he was also interested, which is In the Squared Circle with the Madman. Shameless plug.
Well, once I get the programming set up, you'll be simulcast on our station too.
And also, he was also there for us. He also asked us to come in to do some photo stuff and some video. So that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Since we're doing some shameless plugs, let me plug my website,
Sure.
brandonx.cjb.net. It is the home of the ghetto pimp. And ladies, yes, my information is on there, so you can holler at a player.
You know, and the worst part about it is I really can't plug the station because you're listening to it right now, so...
You can go to Christopher's personal webpage, yeah.
No, nobody's going there.
You'll
Jeez.
find that on the personals ads, you know.
Yes. Lonely single white male looking for... Oh, never mind.
You're an Aries? No, I don't know.
No.
He's a
Why, are you asking them out on a date?
No.
I'm sitting this way.
You know, I'm starting to
Whoa,
worry
dude, a
about
little
your...
close here.
Starting to worry about your little radio partner here. He's getting a little, you know...
A little frisky.
Yeah, a little bit too frisky there.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, so we will, on the same bus, any other questions, yeah?
I think
we're good.
We're good.
Now, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but education, what type of education do you have? If for some reason you wanted to go back to school, you know, what would you go for? You know, because, you know, we have to be in at a college radio station, give a little educational
the
value
educational
here.
tie-in, yes.
Educational value. Well, see, I'll keep it legit. Dropped out of high school, went to the Marine Corps, got my GED, took some college. Actually, if I went back to school, I wouldn't be that far from getting a degree in physical education.
Ooh.
So, I mean, if I ever did decide that I could get the time, because, you know, wrestling doesn't make me a lot of money, so I do have to have another job. If I ever found the time between wrestling and job and, you know, helping raise my son, I'd go back and get that degree. I wouldn't mind being a phys ed teacher, you know. Have to be at a college, you know, gymnastics class that I'd be teaching or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know. Ladies only. you
Yeah,
know, but-
exactly. Teaching the ladies, you know.
Bend this way.
But, you know, I always wanted to be a teacher for some reason because I think my point of view is to get over it. You know, kids would understand them because I understand what they went through.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about being a counselor, but screw that. I'm not having no parents shoot at me.
Really? There's been counselors who've been shot at?
Yeah. Did you read the papers?
Apparently not. I watch Fox News, so if it is a big thing, it ain't on there. Alrighty. So now in our final segment, and this is also traded by, or not the segment, the
Well,
question.
the question, I think we already did the 30-second question if you think about it.
What is
Well, no, not really.
Oh,
Because
okay.
the question simply asks, and we'll start with Brandon next. If you could create your own promotion or league, what would you call it? And who would, now, anybody in the world, who would be that first guy you would hire? Or lady, it depends if you want to, go that route. So...
I'll give you $1 million if he doesn't say Fresh.
Yeah, he's kept that real secretive. Now he's pressure.
You know what? It'd be called Full Effect Wrestling. And no, Fresh wouldn't be the first person I signed.
Wow.
You know what? That's you. That's kind of cool.
Yep. And I would look for people like Hito from Japan. Go up to Canada, dig deep, looking further, I don't know. That'd be hard of who I would try to sign first. I mean, you could go for star power, or you can do what NWA TNA did, and they just went and tried to build like every other promotion does. I mean, so I can't say there'd be one person I would sign. I know there'd be people that I'd want in that promotion. And like a lot of promotions today, they want to run it where everything all goes, okay, well, this whole promotion's hardcore wrestling. This whole promotion's technical wrestling. This whole promotion is if you can't dive off the ropes, you're not getting a spot on the show. You got to mix all that, and that's what a good promoter does. And I can never be one, honestly. So I just like to watch and just sit there and say my opinions. And my opinion is great. My opinion should be believed and lived by. Not really, but I mean, you got promoters like JT Lightning, who he's been around the Cleveland area for 10 years. You're running an indie promotion, you must be doing something right to run for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's got to be a mixture of stuff for a promotion to work. And I honestly don't know who I would sign. I'd sign myself first just so I knew I had a guaranteed pay.
Okay, Jeremy.
It'd be called Asylum Wrestling Federation. Only because that's
Where you belong, an asylum?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, I've already been there.
So have I. Good place to be.
Yeah. So I'd call it Asylum Wrestling. And just because I admire the man so much, I'd probably have to say Mick Foley is one of the people that I'd try to get on my show, who I'd like to sign for a show. But like Brandon X said, there's definitely a massive amounts of people that I'd love to have on my show too. Chris Cole is one.
I'm gonna smack him around.
I'll have a match with you and him then. That'd be cool, huh? There you go.
Yeah, we've gone at it once before.
I'd have people like a Zach Gowen, people like Fab, just people that keep it down to earth, man. And just know how to throw a wrestling match. If I could, I'd sign Ron Van Dam and Jerry Lynn at the same night and have them go at it for 30 minutes. It'd be a perfect match.
Been there, seen that.
Oh, me too. And I'd also grab people like Super Crazy and Little Guido and have them go at it. So I mean, there's just massive amounts. There's one person who I'd never sign, and that's the Sandman, because I think he's a fat piece of crap.
Fat piece of crap. Nice.
And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay, Chris?
Man, this is not a question for me because I always see myself being behind the scenes and actually owning an organization.
That's what we're talking about, man. We're talking about.
What would you name it?
What would you call it? And
I don't think I would be the one to own it. I mean,
You'd be like the production man?
I think I would be the one who actually would help get everything going. I would be there beside.
Well, throw a name out and throw a wrestler out.
Oh, throw a name out and throw a wrestler.
That's real simple to do, dude.
I'll tell you what, call it PWF, Pimp Wrestling Federation. First guy you're going to sign is me and about 15 females.
Nice.
There you
It's
go.
also called illegal, and it's also called prostitution.
It's only prostitution if you pay them. When they do it for free, that's called pimping.
Seriously. I mean, I wouldn't mind working with Fresh with MCW. If he would let me, do things like that. But
Fresh is a man of few words, and not very many of them are clean.
That is true.
Maybe I'm happier. Than you,
Well,
so.
I mean, it's it's not many times in my life because I'm only 5'8" where I can look down at a guy and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right.
Yeah.
You guys also got to remember Fresh Sanderson is my manager, and I will.
Oh, damn, I
you
guess
know,
he is.
I will stand up and smack both of you like you're one of my women on the corner. So watch the disrespect to the man. He's a legend.
That he is.
Well,
No, I mean that in New York.
You say that like you had a long night with him or something.
For that one?
We're actually gonna have good. Okay. Anyways, we'll end here. See us next time where we interview the naked women of wrestling.
Oh, wait, not Glow?
What do you mean?
The Gordish
Glow,
Lady?
no, Glow is dead.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell something about $5. I can take you down to Trixie Lixies, and y'all can see some naked wrestling right now. I don't know if Jamie over here will get in though, because the way I've been hearing, ain't no Chippendale dancers. He might not want to go inside.
I'm all about the ladies.
Okay. Maybe I should
ladies
try
are
to
not
do this
all
show for a
about
third
you.
time.
No.
Okay. Thank you all for listening. You're listening to Duck Radio. Ciao.
Peace out.